At the age of 11, I was kicked out of the Mensa exam, judged before I even started. But then came a twist, a second chance, and the spark that lit the first episode of 12 Days Till Christmas. Watch to the end and find out what happened. In December, my family and I travel back to England from Tenerife, where we've been wintering for a very special reason. I had made the decision to take the Mensa entrance exam. I was excited, nervous, and ready for the challenge. We arrived early at the exam centre, which was this old repurposed church in Manchester. It had high ceilings and echoing hallways, almost like something out of time. Being the first ones there, the silence set in quickly, and so did the anticipation. That quiet triggered my tics and fidgeting. I could feel people's eyes on me as others started to arrive. Some gave puzzled or judgmental looks, as if wondering, why is a boy like that here among the clever people? The atmosphere became even harder when the examiner pulled my dad aside before the exam. She took him into another room in a cautious but clearly doubtful tone and asked, "Are you sure he's up to taking these sort of tests?" I didn't hear every word, but I could feel the tension. Dad told me later, he calmly replied, "Ethan may only be a week into being 11, but he's already preparing for his GCSEs. He told me her expression changed after that. Maybe something in her shifted. She seemed knowledgeable and perceptive. And as it turned out, she was also the one who later gave me a second chance. A gesture I'll never forget. Eventually, I was allowed into the exam room, but about 15 minutes in, someone complained about my involuntary movements. I was asked to leave. Disqualified. I was crushed. While the rest of the candidates continued for another 2 hours, we waited in a small side room. I was upset, but I needed to do something. Anything. So I decided to film myself performing Chopin's Scherzo No. 2. It became an outlet, a way to release the frustration I felt. The real recording came later in the studio, but that's when the idea was born. The recording became the first episode in a series I created, the 12 Days of Christmas Ghost Stories. In that one, I told a dark, haunting tales about enemies who never find peace, whose skeletons dance long after death. It's not what you'd expect from someone who usually loves Christmas. But in that year, in that moment, it felt different. It was a time of confusion, pain, and reflection. Then, something remarkable happened. At the end of that exam session, the same examiner who had doubted us came back with an unexpected offer. She said I could retake one part of the test, just one section, but one that carried equal weight in the scoring. I'd only have 1 hour instead of 2, but it was a second chance, and I was so grateful. Maybe she realized I'd been treated unfairly. Maybe she saw something in me that reminded her not to judge a book by its cover. A few weeks later, we got the results. I'd passed. At just 11 years old, only days after my birthday, I was officially accepted into Mensa. Now, I'm part of the top 1% in the country. The examiners even asked about my music after Dad mentioned it. They watched some of my videos and were impressed by what they saw, by who I am. The experience reminded me that being different doesn't mean being lesser. I know who I am. Intense, creative, and sometimes hard for others to understand. But every part of me, even the parts people mistake for weakness, are part of what makes me strong. To the examiner who gave me that second chance, thank you. Your kindness changed everything. Now, holding my Mensa membership, I know I earned it. Not just through answers on a test, but through staying true to who I am. I just want to let people know that people shouldn't judge by looking at someone. Even though I took the Mensa exam back in December, the certificate somehow got lost in the post. But I thought I'd take this moment to share that little part of my journey and celebrate the near end of exam. It was a lovely surprise in the end, as I was told I'm in the top 1% in the country. I'm grateful for the result and just wanted to share it quietly. Thank you for all your support and for watching me. And don't forget to subscribe. In order to understand why I have created such a dark and scary video, please watch my video on the first day till Christmas. Its thumbnail shows a few old rusty cannons.